What's up, guys? It's your girl Anna. So I just finished watching Scorpion's Revenge, the Mortal Kombat Legends film that just came out a couple of days ago. So I wanted to wait a little bit before I made my review for my channel, kind of to give people a little bit of time to make sure that they had watched it, so that I wouldn't have to hold back too much, because I feel like I might spoil some parts. So spoiler alert. Okay, spoiler alert. I cannot say it enough. Spoiler alert, just in case I slip something that might spoil the movie for you. So if you haven't watched it yet, then don't watch this. Okay, so my favorite part of the whole movie was the beginning. So the very beginning is very emotional. You know, it's a story about Scorpion, obviously. Scorpion's Revenge, the title. But the beginning scene kind of sets the stage for everything else. So it is so important, and it really captures your attention, and it is so emotional. I almost cried and everything. Trust me, it is so good. They did it so well. So the beginning was my very favorite part, even though it was very emotional and bloody and sad. The story throughout kind of follows, it's kind of similar to the 1995 movie, if you guys remember that. This film gives it kind of like a fresher point of view from that movie, if that makes sense. So it's not exactly the same, but it mimics it very well. So it's a very good introduction to Mortal Kombat for new fans that might be watching this for the very first time and they don't know who, you know, Scorpion is, or like his story and stuff like that. It doesn't only follow Scorpion though, it follows a lot of the other characters as well. You don't even feel like Scorpion is the main character. It's kind of like, you know, there's Sonya and Johnny and Liu Kang, that they kind of, we see their background and like their story a little bit, and like why they're going to the tournament. So everybody has a reason why they're going to the tournament, obviously, right? So all the realms are fighting, and the winner gets to keep their realm safe. So yeah. But anyways, so they show you the reason why they all go to the tournaments, and there is a lot of fight scenes and a lot of blood. So if you don't like blood and gore, this ain't for you. Hello, this is Mortal Kombat. You know, there's gonna be a lot of blood, a lot of gore. There's you know, skeletons and bones breaking and guts flying all over the place. There's intestines and brain and everything you can imagine is in the movie. Sonya seems to have the most fight scenes in the movie, which I'm okay with, because I like that, you know, female representation. And the reason why she goes to the tournament is because she's kind of like proving herself to be worthy, because you know, she's seen as like this weak girl, and she's just a girl, she can't fight, you know, the usual sexism. But so she's going there to kind of prove herself, and obviously she has this quarrel with Kano, just like we saw in the very first movie, 1995. She's always had, you know, she's had it out for Kano. So we see a little bit of that in this movie as well. And she has a fight scene very similar to the Kano fight scene that she had in the first movie, but it's with another character this time. And she kind of says like those cool lines, and she does the leg fatality thing. You'll see. I don't want to spoil that for you guys, but it's really cool. Her fight scenes are my favorite. They're really, really good. And the sound effects, oh my gosh, the sound effects are disgusting. It's disgusting. Okay, and that's what makes the fight scenes so good. Like, you feel everything, you can hear everything. It is so satisfying. So yeah, look forward to it. Sonya is scary in this movie. She is scary, yo. But anyways, we get to see Hanzo, or Scorpion. We get to see Scorpion before he became Scorpion, and like what happened to him. How did he become Scorpion, you know? And I love that, you know, that lore. and he's Hanzo, but then he goes to hell because he got betrayed, and like he's heartbroken. You know, his family all died, his village all died. They were murdered, and like he's in hell with all that pain and all that anger, and you know, he breaks out and he becomes Scorpion, and I love it. I love that they showed how he started wearing a mask. So you guys know I wear a mask, right? I'm always wearing a mask. Like it was my thing when I started streaming. When I started streaming and making content, I always had my mask on. People never saw my face before. And then when I reached 10,000 followers, I revealed it, whatever. But he has a very cool story as well. So he starts wearing the mask, and you see where he got his chains from. Like, you see everything. Like, they're not missing any kind of detail. Like, you see everything, okay? And I absolutely love it, because once he started wearing that mask, I was like, oh, okay. I loved it. But anyways, we see a lot of other characters that we don't currently have in MK11, or that we haven't seen in a while. Okay, so we see like characters like Quan Chi and Goro and Reptile. Reptile is so freaking buff in this movie. Like, he is huge. Like, he has muscles and everything. It's crazy. But anyways, we see also Nitara, and I was like, oh my god, Nitara! And she's like hissing and shit. Like, she didn't say anything. I was really hoping that she would talk a little bit, but she doesn't talk. She kind of just hisses. And then we see Motaro and a few others. So it was really, really interesting to see different characters in the movie. I was so happy about that. Anyways, there was so many references in this movie. I was like, oh, I understood that reference. So anyways, everyone gets assigned their fighters, like who they're going to be fighting against, and the stages. I was kind of hoping to see some of the stages that we have in the games. I haven't really noticed any. I could be wrong. Let me know in the comments below if you noticed that there were certain stages that we have in the Mortal Kombat games. I haven't seen any. I think there was the pit at one point when Scorpion and Sub-Zero were fighting, but I'm not 100% sure. So let me know in the comments below, because I might have missed those details. But yeah, so they all have these cool fights, and of course references between especially like between Johnny was fighting Baraka. So whenever I saw Baraka, I was like, oh, Baraka, of course, he's my main, my lover. I love him so much. But he's like, hey, asshole, those were custom, you know? Remember in the other movie, he said to Goro, hey, asshole, those were $500 glasses, something like that. So he kind of like said almost the same line with Baraka, and I was like, oh, I understood that reference. It was so good. So there's a lot of moments like that, you know, kind of like where you're jumping up and down, like, oh. But anyways, I loved it. And they even say like toasty, you know. At one point, it was really, really cool. I appreciate that they catered a little bit to, not a little bit, quite a bit to Mortal Kombat fans, you know, not only to the newer market, but they really catered to the, you know, the people that already know about Mortal Kombat and that know the lore and that play the games and watch the movies. I appreciate that a lot. I feel like I'm talking too fast. Am I talking too fast? It's because I'm excited, that's why. Anyways, Sonya, there was a Sonya versus Reptile scene that I wanted to talk about as well, because like I said, Reptile in this film, he is really, really buff. Like, he is huge, okay? And the abilities that he has in this movie is very, very similar to the abilities that he had in like Mortal Kombat X, Mortal Kombat 10, MKX. But a little bit more OP. So he is like pretty OP in this movie. He's like really OP, like strong. Like, his acid is stronger. He goes invisible for so much longer, you know. So he is pretty OP. But obviously he gets beaten. Hello, it's Sonya. Sonya is pretty badass in this movie. But yeah, that was one of my favorite scenes too. She even goes like upside down and does like a, what do you call that? upside down helicopter thing, just like Chun-Li in Street Fighter. She does that on Reptile and like grabs him and beats the shit out of him, you know? And I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. So I really appreciate that. But anyways, and then Scorpion was fighting against a Lin Kuei member. So it wasn't Sub-Zero, but he was like a character from a the Lin Kuei clan. And he's like, and oh yeah, he said the line, the you Lin Kuei scum, and I was like, oh. That was like another reference, you know, to his lines in the game, and I was like, oh my gosh. So there's a lot of references like that, and like Liu Kang and Kitana were fighting against each other, and that was such a cute and beautiful scene because you can tell that Liu Kang did not want to hurt Kitana, and Kitana was like, she kept trying to fight back, but then she noticed that he doesn't really want to hurt her, and he told her straight up, like, listen, I don't want to fight, I just want to get shit done, you know, like I want to stand up for our people and all that. And then she understood, and like she yielded, and it was like the cutest thing. You could feel the chemistry between them. I was like, oh, they're so cute. So that was like a nice break from all the fighting and all the chaos. So you see a little bit of love here and there, and I appreciate that. So we also see a lot of crazy combos in the game, from the game, that are in the movie. Some of the special effects, like whenever they're breaking bones and like fighting and stuff like that, it looks like an X-ray, you know, like from MKX, or like a fatal blow from MK11, you know, so like it shows you like inside the body, like bones breaking and everything like that. So it's pretty crazy. Yeah, and then we see Sub-Zero for like the first time at the end of the movie, and I'm like, Sub-Zero! And I was like, what the hell, man, where you been? And then Scorpion is like, oh, you're gonna die for what you did! And then Sub-Zero is like, what the F? And then Scorpion beats the shit out of it. I'm not gonna spoil that part for you guys because it's very, very crucial to the whole story, okay? Because, you know, Sub-Zero is Lin Kuei, and the people that had killed his family in the village were all Lin Kuei soldiers, so he assumed that it was Sub-Zero. So that's why he's like, you will die for what you did. But yeah, anyways, they end up like going down the pit together, like jumping off the pit together while they were fighting, and they both get impaled, and it's like such a emotional scene. It doesn't end there though, you know, it's such an emotional scene. You guys really have to like pay attention to that part if you haven't seen it yet and you're still watching this video and getting spoiled. But it was really nice. It was emotional. It gave you some sort of closure, like the ending of the movie. That wasn't the ending, but the ending of the movie was really good. But you can really tell that Scorpion is like the king of this movie. He is the king, you know, like he led the movie. So you'll see him at the beginning, you'll see him a little bit towards the middle, you'll see him after the middle, you'll see him in the end, and you'll see him at the very end. You know, like they really make sure that you remember whose movie it is. So I liked that. But yeah, there was a lot of smiles, a lot of laughs. Like if you're watching this, you're gonna be laughing a lot. You'll be like jumping up and down at one point. You might be crying. You might be like, oh, you might, you know, there's a whole lot of emotions in this movie. So I really like that. You could tell I really like a lot about this movie. But at the end, totally made me feel like there will be a second part to this film. So I am expecting Mortal Kombat Legends Scorpion's Revenge number 2. I don't know what they would name it. They would maybe name it like Shao Kahn's Revenge, because the very end scene was Shao Kahn. So maybe Shao Kahn's Revenge, something like that. Shao Kahn's comeback. I don't know, but I know that there's gonna be a second part. It just feels right. But anyways, overall score, I gave it a 9 out of 10. maybe a 9.2 out of 10, because I felt, well, I absolutely loved the movie, obviously, as you can tell, but I did feel like it was just a tad little bit short, a little bit too short. I would have liked it to be just a tiny bit longer, perhaps like 20 minutes longer, you know. But it did leave like an open ending, so it didn't give you as much closure. It was a good ending, but it wasn't like finished, you know, so you know that there's gonna be a second part. But yeah, anyways, that's why I give it a 9 out of 10. Really liked the movie. It was really good. I hope that they give us more in the future. Very successful. Thank you so much to everyone that was involved in the movie. And yeah, if you haven't seen it yet, go see it. Even after you watch this video, I promise I didn't spoil everything. You'll see it is so freaking good. Like, grab some popcorn and like blast the sound, because you need to hear those crunches, you need to hear those splatters and all that kind of stuff. But that's not all there is to the movie. There is so much more to it, so I definitely would recommend it. Let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are about the film, if you liked it, what you didn't like about it, and yeah, share it, give it a big thumbs up, and subscribe.